Know why, but it is hotter than a hemorrhoid in here, whatever that means. But yeah, so did a little grinding earlier. So always important to have your mask for your sanding and your grinding. Just a little safety tip from the guy who manhandles tiny drills at high speeds with his bare fingers. But yeah, doesn't mean I like to inhale dust. Dust is bad. It's bad. So yeah, I might be putting this on later. Not that you would know, but I just told you, so I guess you would. So yeah, the plan today, besides picking up some of this mess, this is just, look at that nasty stuff, is to put a little epoxy sculpt on here. Start filling out this body a bit, doing something with it. But yeah, what I might do is, I'm not liking the sort of pigeon chest it's got. I might move this out, like flex these out a little bit, like, you know, this way. It's a little too oval. I mean, it looks fine from the side, but even that, I think it could probably go a little smaller. And it might get covered up anyway. So we'll probably pull these out, put some epoxy sculpt on it, maybe put the beginnings of a head on here. What's up, Silver? So yeah, and then build out a little bit of the waistline and the hips above these balls, my fake ball joints. Yeah, I probably could have gone posable, but I mean, if you think it's taken me a while to do this,
look, it's my new mannequin. I'm gonna talk with this. Slap, 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 slap it, slap, 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 slap.
All right, enough of that. So, yeah, maybe the next one. Like I said, I got an OMC bot to build before October, so that'll probably have all this super complicated mechanical jointy stuff. I did start the katana scabbard. I took a little piece of chopstick like this, and I turned it into this. You know, gave it that sort of a slight curve. So that would be something right here. I don't know if you can see the curve. It's a very subtle curve, very subtle. But, and it might be a little too thin this way. So I might just put a little bit of epoxy on that just to kind of bring it out, and then I'll sand it down smooth later. And that's why I had the mask on, because I didn't want some teeny tiny bamboo fibers on my mouth and lungs. So yeah, you know what I could do before we do this, because I have a feeling the epoxy sculpt is going to be kind of a mess. So maybe good idea to clean off some of the, well, when I say a mess, what I mean is, if I'm going to be using the table at all, which, yes, I'm going to clean this. I cleaned it a few times, but it just keeps wanting to get dirty again, you know? Oh, and this guy, I got to finish this guy. All right, he's next time. I might just make a dedicated video for this one. Hello. But he needs to get done. Let's move this over. Who jumped in? I saw Silver earlier. Who are you? What do you want? Who is this? You have to forgive me if you're on chat right now. I am doing this from the phone, like I said before, and I cannot see the chat, but I appreciate you being here. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff here that needs to get wiped down. So I'm gonna bore you for about 2 minutes to get some of this junk out of the way. Or when I say out of the way, I'm saying that very loosely. I'm not usually one to be lazy, but I'm just gonna get a broom and do this. Oh my God, all the dust. Oh, don't breathe it in. It's okay. I'm okay. Camera's okay. We're all okay. But look at that. Look at that. It was worth it. Huh. All right. Little laziness there. Little laziness. All right. Let me just prop that back up a little bit. A little bit. So you can get a good look at it. Epoxy sculpt. What it is, what it means to you. So if you haven't seen this already, there's a lot of people who use this stuff online that you've probably given a really nice tutorial on it. It's a two-part epoxy. I mean, just like green stuff or Milliput or Magisculpt. You got your gray stuff. You got your slightly, I don't know, greenish gray stuff. And you mix it together, and one acts as a catalyst to start hardening the other. So it's, yeah, a hardener. Doesn't have to be equal amounts. I mean, you can kind of finagle it a little bit, but I don't know. We're probably going to use this is probably about as much as I'm going to use through the entire video today. So let's go ahead and, maybe I should just use a little bit, half of that, just to be on the safe side. Not waste too much. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use a pretty good amount. All right. You've probably seen guys like Crafty Ric or TheCrafsMan or all those guys out there that use this stuff. If you don't know who I'm talking about, go check out their channels. I'm not a so proud or selfish that I wouldn't tell you to go check out someone else's work that does great work. I do great work, I think. But yeah, there's a ton of other people that do. So, go check them out too. Okay, real simple. You squish it up till it's all one color again. And like I said, I think I'm going to stretch out this rib cage just a little bit. It might break off. It's okay if it does. I'm not super worried about it. I think the easy way to do this would just be to compress it. So let's try that first. We'll try some compression. All right. If this is going to break, it's going to break while you're watching it break. That's what I'm going to... my guarantee to you. I don't know. Maybe this isn't such a good idea. Oh, no, it feels like I'm just bending it. All right, let me see if I can. Let's see if we can just stretch it out by hand. Sometimes your hands are the best tools you got. Helps if you have really strong fingers. All right. Not liking that shape as much, though. Let's try the pliers. I think I'm just gonna bend this guy out this way. A little bit, and bend this one out this way a little bit. And flare it out. Okay, that flared it out a little. That's good. Uh-oh, came disconnected. Well, I expected that to happen. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Like I said, it's okay to make mistakes. Let me bring this guy a little bit up. And I'm not worried about the epoxy drying out because I've got pretty good working time on that. So, yeah, Something kind of weird here. Sometimes it's best to leave well enough alone, but I'm not that guy. I never leave stuff alone. I gotta mess with everything. So let's do this. Remove this entirely. Okay, it's kind of getting there. I think I'm getting toward a shape I like. We'll just bend that some more. And then we'll straighten this part out. Just a hair. And bring that in. Get the trusty glue. Glue. Not sure how much of a difference that really made, but looks okay. It looks a little wider, a little bit wider. I know the rib cage should be like tapering into an oval, but this is a robot and it's mine, so it is what it is. All right, so let's powder that up so it'll dry a little faster. I don't have to be messing with it, sticking glue to my fingers. Put a little more on here. Okay. Yeah, all right. I think we're good to go. I'm going to do with my little putty ball. Putty ball. There he is. Put it in a safe place. Away from the powder. 2 people watching. God, you guys are dedicated. I don't know who you are, but welcome. Welcome. All right. So the idea is here, basically to build her a butt, or at least the beginnings of one. So what I'm doing is just adding a little bit of epoxy sculpt to kind of build out this area. And then once I've got a little bit of something on there, and I know it would have been kind of cool to have some of the chopsticks showing, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. I might have some of the beads showing. I mean, ultimately, hardly any of this is going to show. If you have guys have looked at the picture that I drew as a reference, as my kind of quickie reference to what I want this to look like, then you already know that 90% of this isn't even going to be visible. How long do you think it's going to take to finish her? Oh, dude, not tonight. I can tell you that. mid-June, maybe a couple more weeks. I mean, once I've got all this stuff built up, the hard part was just getting the skeleton. So I think now that I've got to the sculpting phase, it's going to be pretty quick. You guys know in general, I'm pretty fast. The junk bots that you've seen before, if you've watched those videos, pretty much all of my junk bots, with the exception of that one horrific, tiny, little simple one, took me about anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour each. I probably cranked out most of these, and what I'm referring to is these guys here. So the two that took me the longest were this guy, believe it or not. Yeah, watch that. That's a bad video. And this guy, he took me the second longest. This little dude, this guy here, that guy there, that was the first one. Those three probably took me 45 minutes to an hour to put together. Maybe less than an hour, I think. Even the red one didn't take that long. I mean, I knocked that one out. That's probably arguably the best one. This guy here. Even that one probably took me 45 minutes. Not painting. Painting took another 30, 45 minutes. And when I say 30, 45 minutes, I'm not joking. I've got probably one or two videos where I'm actually painting with no acceleration, and it's like, you can tell I'm not really throwing any pro paint jobs on these things. It's just kind of like, make it a color. So yeah, if you want to know what a 30-minute giant robot paint job looks like, that's it right there. The orange one, I will say I did take. That was probably the orange one is probably the paint job I spent the most time on. I actually took some time to airbrush it and do some weathering, but this one, basic color, man. Oops, sorry. The red one and the green one. The green one's just like slapping a bunch of green paint on it. Those probably took 30 minutes. So if you're expecting 30 minutes out of this, ain't gonna happen. This is gonna take a lot longer. Lot longer. Yes, indeedy. So let's see. Lights. Let's get some lights in here. I don't think I've ever had 3 people on this Geisha stream before. At least not at once. Maybe I have. I don't know. This stuff blended together pretty well, so let's build up some we can probably build up a little bit more on the butt here. That's the technical term for buttocks. It's like ASMR. Roll, roll, roll. All right. Put some shoulders on here. I probably could use foil to build this out, but I kind of want to do this a certain way. I might use some parts. I might build out like a little internal bit here and there, but I think for the most part, this is going to be time to break out some sculpting tools. How professional. I still tell people the best sculpting tool is your finger. Everything else is just kind of an accessory. Let's put something around that chest. Because once I've got some of this stuff down on the chest, that'll kind of hold the rings in place, and really I can start building this up a little bit better, a lot stronger. It'll be a lot stronger for sure. And I might leave some of that stuff on the back exposed. You'll probably see, to answer Silver's question earlier about how long this is going to take, you'll probably see the majority of it done, or at least to a point where it looks like it's more humanoid and less skeletal by the end of this video, honestly. Because this is just going to be a lot of... I'm reinforcing some pieces, and I'll be starting to sculpt a shell of a body here in a little bit. Doesn't have to look pretty at this point. I'm just kind of laying down stuff. Maybe on these little outside bits I want to get a little smoother. But the rest of it, I think we don't really need that much of a... to worry about the quality as much. Let's pull out some more putty. We can go larger. We can get a bigger blob of putty on here. Epoxy sculpt's not... I mean, it's kind of pricey, but it's not as pricey as Milliput, I think. At least by the ounce. Gotta get it nice and blended. Uh-oh. Yeah. All right, I think we're ready to rock with this one. Oh, okay. The thing I don't like about epoxy sculpt is it's kind of, I don't know what the word is. It has this kind of like weird eraser kind of quality to it. Like, I mean, it's soft, but it's also very crumbly at the same time. I don't know how to describe it. It's just such a weird material. It's real sticky. It's very clay-like, but at the same time not. But what is nice about it is it's going to be pretty much rock hard by the time this is done. So, well, not by the time this is done, but you know, by the time it dries and everything's cured. So, wet my fingers to keep it from sticking. look, a chest cavity. Like literally, it's a chest cavity. Just kind of blocking it out now for the rest of the body. You know, I could probably cheat a little bit and put a big fat bead in here. I'm gonna fill up some space with that. Just coat it with some putty. Right there, boom. Done. I know it's not going to look that pretty when I'm done with this section, but the majority of it will be built out by then, and it will look much better, I promise. Once it dries, I can put in all the pretty stuff. Now, the legs are pretty thin, and they're going to stay pretty thin, so I'm probably going to spend a little bit more time on those. Also, this little back piece right here, I kind of want some of this cable to show, but again, it's going to be hidden under clothes, so really not going to make that much of a difference. So, let's put a little more of a boot on her. Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out when you put it up, when you post it. All right, there you go. I got most of it. And as far as the head goes, let's go ahead and just start some semblance of a head here. I think that's a good location. We'll build that up from there. Remember, it's going to have a huge headdress, so it's not really going to matter if I go a little taller than I need to. I think we can probably waste a little bit more putty here for a call it a day, so to speak. Yeah, it's gonna be a short video. It's 30 minutes already in, but hey, look at all the progress we made. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Let's post her back in her little sticky place. See? It's already looking like something. You could say it was intentional. That's a good amount. Just gonna get a little bit of water to smooth some of this stuff out. Honestly, I don't know how much of this is going to be visible in the end, but we'll just assume it's a decent amount. So we want to kind of make it halfway decent. Smooth some of it out. I'm not going to put anything here because it's kind of a very, the clavicle area is going to be right in there, and I want to be able to sculpt that out with a little more detail, so I want to leave myself some space to do that. And some of this is going to be showing probably with the kimono on, or yukata, if you will. So we'll see. I think we could probably fix this a little bit. A little bit of water. Uh-oh. You can always go back and kind of hand sand some of the stuff smooth where I don't want it to be too much. The parts I'm probably going to spend the most time on are all the exposed areas, which would be the face, upper chest, arms, legs, and the feet would be, and the hands would be the most, I probably would put the most detail into. Just because they're going to be the ones that are the most exposed, and the things I'd probably want to draw more attention to anyway. Probably could wait till this dries before I put this piece on, but that's all right. I'm not too worried about anatomy and muscles here for the stuff that's not really going to be seen. So I know it seems like a lot of effort for the coil thing. I don't know. I just thought it might look cool, or I might do something with it. Ultimately, it really was just to add a little bit more strength to the spine, because one little thin wire seemed like it wasn't going to be enough. So I kind of doubled it up with that, and that thing was pretty strong. So I was like, oh yeah, that'll work. I guess we can put the beginnings of the legs in here a little bit. Let's put the back end of the thighs in here. Again, don't scream at me for the anatomy. It's not done yet. There's a long way to go yet. This is just kind of the foundation. So we can fill some of these little gaps in here. Put the back of the skull on. Part of the forehead. Part of the jaw. Sticky, real sticky. And then I'm probably going to call it quits after this little piece right here. I'm almost out of putty. Got kind of an eye line there. At least a good start for one. But let me just slap one more little thing on here before I call her back. I guess we could put some more leg on. The front of the leg, maybe. Just a little bit. Outside edge of that leg. And that's where we're at. All right, we'll talk again later. Bye, guys. End of part 4. Or was it part 3? No, it's part 4. All right, bye.